Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Cassandra, and today we're going to do a little exploration of the fight response of your nervous system. So when you are ready, let's go ahead and begin in a child's pose. So if child's pose is not comfortable, you can stay seated. We're going to bring the big toes to touch, the knees nice and wide, and we're just going to slowly come down, maybe rocking your body left and right as you move. So we're just taking a nice grounding position here. You are welcome to rest your forehead on your hands, a pillow, or a block. You can find some movement left and right if that feels good. Maybe you're ready for stillness. And just noticing the sounds in your environment. Noticing the quality of your breath. Maybe you feel tight in your belly or your chest, even your throat center. Maybe you can visualize your belly filling up like a balloon. And with each exhalation, you're just continuing to relax the muscles of the stomach. Your eyes can be opened or closed, just depending on your comfort level. Let's take one more breath here to feel the warmth of the earth underneath us. And when you're ready, we're just going to exhale very slowly, come back to sit back on your heels. All right, let's take a few cat-cows. So we're going to shift forward onto our hands and our knees in a tabletop position. Maybe beginning by shifting your hips left and right, lifting up the knees as you kind of move left and right. And just feel your knees grounding onto the earth. You can kind of take your head and neck along for the ride. So as you shift your weight to the left, you can look right. Shift your weight to the right, looking left. And you can just stick with this side to side movement. Maybe you want to do some classic cat-cows, dropping the belly, looking up, and then exhaling, pulling the chin to the chest. Inhaling, looking up nice and slowly. And then as you pull the chin to the chest, pulling the navel center up toward the ceiling. You can also take some barrel rolls or some figure eights. Our goal here is to move the spine in all directions without worrying what it looks like. I'm just noticing how your body feels, moving in all directions. And just notice the quality of your breath here. Are you still holding your breath a little bit? Can you make your inhalations and your exhalations a little bit longer? From here, maybe you come back to tabletop, tuck your toes under, sit your hips back on your heels, pull your pinky toes forward. So we're really opening up the backs of the feet. This can be a really intense feeling. So if it becomes too intense, just come back onto your tabletop. Otherwise, we're just going to sit here. You can bring the hands forward and kind of do some joint lubrication of the wrists. You can shake your arms out. This might help you take some deeper breaths and just notice what is going on in your environment. What do you see? What feels safe? Noticing the things in your space that are keeping you safe. The door, maybe the windows, maybe you have a fence. All right, shifting back forward. And we're just going to come to sit all the way down with our legs stretched out long. All right, so go ahead and bounce the knees. Sit back on your hands like you're looking up at the clouds. And just find some bouncing here. Then we're going to inhale, sit straight up, as straight as you can get. And then we're just going to exhale, forward fold. It does not need to be a deep fold. If this is what feels good to you, then you're going to stay here. Maybe you want to grab your feet, your ankles, your calves. Feeling a stretch in the backs of the calves, the quads, maybe the glutes. You can stay here, or you can kind of move in and out. Sit up, point the toes, exhale, forward fold. So just notice what feels good to you here. Instead of following my cues, follow your internal guidance system. Maybe you inhale as you come up and exhale as you come down. And just notice where you feel the stretch in the muscles. Working with the large muscle groups and stretching really helps in trauma work and healing. So just continue to move here or find stillness. Maybe finding some movement in your head and your neck. Shifting your ears towards your shoulders. Maybe trying to take note of where you're holding tension in your body right now. And is that where you typically hold tension? What does that physical sensation feel like in the body? And then you can visualize taking the breath to those really tight places and breathing spaciousness there. Either continue in this pose, or you can go ahead and come up. So you have two options here. You can either just reach your hands behind you like you're looking up at the clouds again, press into the heels and push up for a reverse plank, or you can bring the soles of your feet to the earth and press up for your reverse tabletop. So you can either drop your head back, you can look forward or up. You can also bump your hips left and right here. So just noticing where you're feeling openings in your body. Maybe your lower back, maybe your sides and your shoulders. And go ahead and lower down when you're ready. Right foot comes back towards the pelvis, left foot is in front. We're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, forward fold. Feeling a stretch in the outside of the left glute and hip. If you kind of move side to side, you can also feel it in your left side body. So if you want to walk your hands over to the right and feel that stretch in your right side body. Just breathing here, becoming curious about these stretching sensations. And how does that feel in your body? Walking your hands back to center, coming to sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to switch our feet. Left foot comes in towards the pelvis, right foot is out in front. Legs are not stacked. We're going to inhale, sit up nice and tall, and then exhale, go ahead and fold forward as far as feels good for you. Moving left and right as you come down. Noticing the quality of your breathing. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And taking your hands to the left, if you'd like to feel that side stretch on the right. And just becoming curious about where you're holding tension again. Once we become aware of where our tension tends to live, we can begin the work to releasing that tension just by being aware, bringing awareness to what we're doing. Walking our hands back to center. Go ahead and come up when you're ready. Maybe send your legs out and give a little shake. Maybe you can take some deep breaths here. Move the head, neck, and shoulders. All right, point and flex the feet. Let's go ahead and lower down to our back. We're going to take a couple of bridge poses here, opening our chest. So bring the soles of the feet down to the earth. If you have a block, you might want to grab it. If you want to do more of a passive bridge, hold, and we will talk about that in just a moment. But before we move into bridge pose, let's just take a moment of stillness. If you need to move, windshield wiper your legs left and right. Otherwise, see if you can feel the ground supporting your back body. Listening to the sound of the breath, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. We're going to do an inhale through the nose for a count of 5 and an exhale through the nose for a count of 6. You can elongate the inhale and exhale as suitable for your lung capacity and your comfort level. So go ahead and breathe all your air out. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going at your own rhythm. Trying to keep the exhalation about a beat or 2 longer than the inhalation. Really signaling and stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, telling your body that you are safe, that you can relax. And just noticing if you can increase it a little bit, the length. Maybe feeling the temperature of the inhale on the insides of the nostril and the difference in the temperature when you exhale through the nostrils. Let's just take a few more here. Last one. All right, for our bridge pose, you are going to walk your heels towards your glutes as far as feels comfortable. Maybe lift up the toes, feel all 4 corners of the feet on the earth, lower the toes, and then just lift your hips up. So maybe you want to adjust the distance of your heels to your hips. Maybe you want to allow your hands to come out. And maybe you want to exhale, roll down 1 vertebra at a time, and then inhale, lift back up. So you can do these rolling bridges if that feels good for you. You can also take a yoga block and you can place it right under your tush, either on the low, medium, or high setting, and just allow your legs to splay out and flop out long. You can also take your arms and your hands under your lower back, interlace your fingers, start tucking your shoulders under your chest, and then pressing into the heels, getting a nice stretch here. And just noticing how your breathing has changed since we began bridge. Maybe opening your eyes if you're not feeling safe or comfortable. Just noticing what's going on in your space. And when you're ready, take a final exhale. Come on out of the posture. Maybe send the hands and the legs up. Shake, 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 and then rock and roll up to a comfortable seated position. All right, we're going to come onto hands and knees one more time. However you get there is up to you. We're going to thread the needle, so let's start in a tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide and kind of grip with your fingertips like you're holding a ball. And then we're going to, again, move our knees kind of up and down, get comfy. My yoga mat is on a camping mat. So whatever is comfortable under your knees, maybe a pillow or a blanket. And we're just going to start by tapping the tops of our feet on the mat. So as you're doing this, become aware of your center, pulling your belly button maybe up towards your spine, just for the stability here. And then exhale, release the belly, drop the belly, hips and head come up. Tuck the pelvis, come back to that tabletop, engage the core. You're pulling the belly button up towards the spine, just noticing the stability of your center, maybe continuing to tap the tops of the feet. And then last time, exhale, drop the belly, feel the opening. As we inhale, we're going to reach our right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, we're going to thread the needle. So the right hand goes between the left hand and the left knee. So you can either just stay here with your shoulder up off the ground, using your right hand to pull on the floor and stretch the back. If that doesn't feel good, you can go ahead and drop down to the shoulder. You can always bring the left arm up to the sky, to your lower back, or you can take a half bind, weaving it to the inside of the right thigh. So continuing to stretch your body, turn your chest up towards the sky. And just noticing any tight areas. A few more breaths here. Aware of the inhalation and aware of the exhalation. When you're ready, you're going to take your left hand, unwrap it, press it into the floor, come all the way back up, reach your right arm up, and then come to sit back on your heels. Maybe shake out the hands. And then we're going to move on to the other side. Come back to your tabletop, spreading your fingers wide, shifting your hips. Left arm comes up towards the sky, really twisting and reaching. Exhale, thread the needle. Again, being super mindful of your shoulders. Maybe you want to rest on a pillow. And just noticing what feels good for you here. Becoming aware of the quality of the breath. And becoming aware of any muscle tension that you can release. On your next exhale, releasing, coming back to center, stretching up. And then exhale one last time, sitting back on your heels, shaking out your hands. All right, I'm going to invite you to come to lay on your belly if that is comfortable for you. All the way down. Just taking your time, no rush here. You can rest the top of your head on your hands. Feet are as wide as the mat, shifting the hips left and right. Shifting the head left and right. I'm just feeling this massage in your abdomen. Breathing deeply here. Maybe bending the legs and windshield wipering. It's completely up to you. You can stay here, or I'm going to invite you to bring your hands under your shoulders, spread your fingers wide, tuck your chin, and then just roll up into a little baby cobra. And if you want to, you can exhale, bring your chin forward and roll all the way down. So just little teeny tiny rolling baby cobras, or you can come up halfway. Elbows are still bent. Roll forward, or you can come up all the way. Straightening your arms, maybe looking left and right over your shoulders. Being very aware of your back. Exhale, releasing down. Let's just take another moment here. Noticing any tension that you still have in the body. Maybe you want to take a pose or a posture to help release those spaces. When you're ready, go ahead and come over onto your back. So legs can be out long. Hands can be on belly. You can open up to a big starfish if you want. Maybe you want to have your legs a little bit closer, hands grounded on your body. Maybe you want to roll over onto your side and be in a fetal position for a little added comfort. You can also bring the soles of your feet together here. Open your knees nice and wide for a butterfly pose, a little hip opener. And if this is a bit intense, you can put some pillows here under your upper thighs and your calves. So let's just explore our nervous system response of fight. Maybe you can think back to your most recent fight response. Or maybe it was someone else's fight response that you witnessed. Where can you feel that in your physical body right now? Maybe you feel a tightness or a nausea in the belly. Maybe it's more in your lower abdomen. It can be a tightness or a pulsing in the chest, shoulders, neck or jaw, or even the muscles of the arms. And what the nervous system is doing is it's preparing you for a fight. And when our nervous system chooses to do these things, we don't have control over it. What we do have control over is to work on healing past traumas, so that our nervous system is not always wanting to go into a fight response. And the way we do that is by doing practices like this, becoming aware of the present moment, and repeatedly showing ourselves that those memories we have of a fight response have happened in the past. It's not what's happening right now, and that we're safe. And the only way we can do that is by working with this every single day. Let's finish with a breathwork practice. Inhaling through the nose to a count of 5. And then on our exhale, we're going to purse our lips like we're blowing through a very thin straw for a very long exhale, as long as you can go without clenching the belly. Inhaling through the nose. Breathing out through the thin straw very slowly and gently. Keep going here. Inhaling through the nostrils. Breathing out through your thin straw. As you continue in this pattern, notice where you feel tension in your body. Maybe something has changed or shifted. Maybe you felt the physical sensation in your hips earlier. Now it's more in your chest. And then what judgments or emotions or thoughts come up around those physical feelings? What story are you telling yourself about that? What does it mean to hold tension in those areas around the fight response? This is just an inquiry process, so there are no right or wrong answers. We're just tuning into the physical body and becoming aware of the thoughts that are associated with the sensations in the physical body. Let's continue to rest here for about 2 more minutes. Maybe you want to move your body, change your posture, shake it out. If at any point any of the images that have come to your mind are startling or overwhelming, go ahead and blink your eyes open and put that image into a still picture. We're going to place it in a frame somewhere on the wall or the ceiling. We're going to trace our eyes around the frame, like you're moving your eyes around a rectangle or a square. Doing this in both directions. And noticing that that image happened in the past. It's not happening right now. Right now, you must feel relatively safe to be doing this practice. You can look around your space and notice what you have right now with you that ensures your safety. Maybe you want to rest your hands on your belly so you can feel the rise and the fall. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please ignore me and go ahead and stay here. Otherwise, let's find some very gentle and slow movement in our hands and our feet, maybe drawing circles, maybe pointing and flexing, reaching your arms up, moving the hips, rolling over onto one side into the fetal position. And when you're ready, pressing up to a comfortable seated position. Just taking your time. Feel the parts of your body that are touching the earth. Just allow the energy to settle. Maybe setting an intention for the rest of the day in the positive. If you'd like to bring your hands to heart to center in prayer mudra, reaching through the crown of your head, sitting up nice and tall. Let's take 3 more breaths to end our practice. Inhaling through the nose. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Inhale. Big exhale as loudly as you want. Last one, big inhale. Big exhale. My friends, my teachers, namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I hope to see you next time as we continue to work on the nervous system's fight response and how we can continue to heal that in our bodies. Enjoy your day.